just a reminder to be there. So I kind of cut the video off. So anyway, um, let's just say this. I've cut Remeron. Mind you, I've been off of benzos for about 8 years, but tapering Remeron through all this has been an absolute nightmare. Absolute nightmare. So now, the longer this goes, the harder the tapers are getting. Because my nervous system is just so damn shot. So, all I can do is cut, deal with the hell, do my best to let the nervous system calm down. Which is almost impossible because the one thing that keeps it totally frazzled is being on my feet. And that's not really fair because you need to stand, you know? So it's like, that's bullshit. Between that and stress, anxiety, which that just causes stress, it's a lot. I feel the akathisia going through me. Feel the pinpricks and the static and all the weird shit. Ugh, the pain. This is a lot of stuff that I didn't have that bad until I over tapered Remeron once. So it's just like, it's all nervous system reaction for sure, but it's not something I'm easily tolerating anymore. It'll eventually go back to a baseline. It just has to eventually. I can't do too much, and that doesn't make me happy or anybody else around me happy. And it's like, the reality is, like I said in my last video that I was on live, there's really no way to explain this to anybody. That's the problem. You can't really explain it. I want to. I want to talk about it, but it doesn't make any fucking sense. That's a problem. It just doesn't make any sense. It's like, oh, when I'm set back, I can't do shit. I can't do all the things I was doing before I cut. Well, why not? And that's been an ongoing question for the last 8 years, because it's not easy to say, hey, I have an injury that is so extremely rare. I mean, what are the odds, What are the odds that would be true? But it is. That's the thing, it is. It's so rare. Doctors don't know anything about it. The only thing you can do is relate to people online and realize you're not alone. And then with people that are completely protracted for a very long time like me, that makes it even more rare. So you don't have a very large support system of people that get it. So your percentage of people that slightly get it are even more dwindled down. But I know what the reality is for me and the things I've tried. And, I've tried everything. I mean, I've set myself back so many times trying things because, I was scared. Is there something out there that might help? Probably. But I can't be a guinea pig and try it all. I did that for years. And the only reason I started living at all is when I stopped doing stuff, trying things. Then once I start doing the trying thing, it's back to suffering all the time again because, oh, that didn't work. Oh, it worked for 2 hours, and then it's like days and days of hell. I just can't do that. I can't do it. There are things I've done that helps in the, like I said, for hours. But after that, it's just not. It's like crap for days, weeks. But sometimes I feel like my nervous system gets so fucked up from this stuff that it's almost impossible to get out of that level of hell. You know, it's like I'll start to feel better. Like I didn't go out for work all week except for last Tuesday. And then throughout the week it started getting better. I was not feeling well and some days were worse than others, but in general those really scary symptoms from the cut were dwindling down a bit because I've been relaxing and making things easier on myself. And then I wake up today and it's just completely bombarded with symptoms again. And do you overthink it and go, okay, what did I do? What did I do? Where, you always think to a point, but now it's like I'm so exhausted of it, the situation, that I don't even care to like overthink it. It's like, oh, I took a hot bath. Well, that could have fucked it up, I don't know. I didn't sleep well. That could have done it. You just don't know. But to make it come back this much force, it's ridiculous. It's not right. It's not right at all. Nervous system is such a piece of shit. It's like for something that's so intricate and amazing, it really makes no sense. Because there'll be times where like I won't sleep at all and things will be all fucked up. And the next day, I feel a lot better. But then the day after that is when it all falls apart. How does that make any sense? But that's the way it's always been. How do you explain that to somebody? They just think you're crazy. They just think you're crazy. And I've realized in all this time, I'm not crazy. I mean, this stuff is making me nuts. But I mean, in general, I know exactly what I'm doing and what I'm talking about. Do I sound insane? No. And it's like, I don't try to not do things to help myself. But admittedly, I do get scared because every time I try to do something to help myself, it's 99% usually a setback from it. Because anything that calms down the nervous system for me will uh, will have a negative output, especially when you're this sensitive. When I'm doing better and I'm not this sensitive, I can do a lot more things. It's like I can take an antihistamine without a huge effect. And that's really cool because my allergies get terrible. But like right now, I can't take an antihistamine because it'll literally keep my nervous system down. And I can't get out. I can't dig out from the hell. I got a lot going on. My life is full of positivity and it's full of good stuff. But now I can't live that life. I have to completely cut it back. I mean, it's not gone, but it's like I feel like I have to neglect everything that I'm building for a while. And for anybody else on the outside, 6 months seems like an eternity, but for me it's not at all. It's like, oh, the recovery for this cut was only 6 months to a year. It's not bad. That sucks. That's not good. My timeline versus anybody else is completely different now. So anyway, I'm trying my best. I'm really disheartened today because tomorrow I have to go out for a very long day. It's a long day tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to it because I like what I do when I go out, but I know what it's going to do to me. If I felt like I did on Thursday, I would feel a little more confident going out tomorrow. But if it destroys me again, I might have to take the rest of the week off again. But I can't, that's not ideal for somebody who needs to be working, or for his own mental health needs to be working. I've come so far to get to this point where I'm working on my own, I'm running my whole business, I'm doing my own taxes, it's, I kept it rolling and it's doing good, doing much better, but now it's completely, shit. Yeah. Oh. We don't have a mental disorder. We have a brain injury, is what I know from benzodiazepines. Yeah, it's a brain injury and a nervous system injury. I feel a lot of it, like for me, is more nervous system injury. And I mean, I get the brain injury part, that's obvious. But together, it makes for absolute madness. Because the sensitivities, the nervous system can't handle it. It can't handle it. Which is weird because it's had 8.5 years to get back. And I haven't done a lot like a regular. I want to get back to exercising. Oh God, what would my body do with that? It would just destroy itself. I don't know what it would do. But it's like I want to get back to walking this spring and summer. Like do some walking and get back to certain things, so I can go out and have nice times. Luckily, like even though my DPDR and fog and stuff is bad today, in general, it's not as like it used to be. So like I can still do stuff now that's not as terrifying to go out because the lower I get on the Remeron, the better it gets. But when I taper, oof, it's rough. The stress alone of it is so rough. And meditating, as much as I need to do it, it's so much harder when you're in this bad of a wave. And I won't apologize anymore for being in such bad shape and admitting it 8.5 years later. I just won't. I don't go on the forums anymore. I mean, once in a while, I'll make a comment, but I don't go on the pages, Facebook pages. I just don't do it because everybody gives me shit. It's my own fault. I do this. It's because of your Remeron. It's like, I know, but I still want to be able to talk. I do. My diet is. I should say the comment for the people who don't see it. I heard carnivore really helps people. It absolutely does. My diet is mostly carnivore, and that's what helped me get to a place where I could start living again. I do eat a few vegetables here and there, but in general, I eat meat 24/7. I have people that are scared that I'm gonna have a heart attack from eating too much meat, but I don't buy it. So I'm gonna do what helps me, and that's I eat beef every day. I eat chicken every day, and man, that's it. I do eat potato. I don't know if that's involved at all, but I do eat potato. I don't eat sugar. My diet's pretty great. I could probably use some other things to get more vitamins in, but I've been eating a lot of green chilies, which have a lot of good vitamin C. So I keep my vitamins in check, which is good. So, yeah. But yeah, carnivore is where I think it's at. So, totally agree. My stomach got a lot better too after carnivore. I'm not up every fucking night with the shits anymore. And I did that a lot with vegetables, especially the ones like broccoli and cauliflower. I can't even handle eating that stuff anymore. I eat it, it just tears apart my stomach. So I do eat asparagus, some Brussels sprouts here and there. But in general, some green beans, but nothing much. So yeah, it's definitely helped me. It's not helping me right now, I'll tell you. But maybe it is, I don't know. Maybe things could be a lot worse. But I'm looking forward to going out tomorrow. But I'm also kind of nervous. I'm hoping I wake up in a little bit better of a spot tomorrow. I'm just exhausted. I'm sitting in my car. I just went to the post office. I tried to go on earlier, but then I got that phone call. Just my doctor's office reminding me of my appointment tomorrow. Been getting a lot of nosebleeds. It's either from the really dry air or I've got a vessel that's fucked up or something. So I'm gonna go in and get it checked out. It sucks because I don't want to deal with it. Now's not the time, but I already set it up, so I'm here to do it. I'll be there to do it. Just hoping things calm down a little bit. I'm probably going to get off here and do some meditation. But it's so fucking hard to meditate when I'm like this. It's so hard to concentrate on just relaxing. I get better at it when I start feeling better, but then I get lazy and don't do it. But there's got to be something that I can weigh, figure out. So where I can go and be on my feet for 3-4 hours and do something to let my nervous system say, hey, okay, it's not that bad. Calm down now after I'm not on my feet anymore. It's always been like that. Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. It's like I try to be positive. Today's not really the day. But you got to keep going. You have to. What else you got? There was a time that I didn't think I was going to make it through. There's that time I over-tapered Remeron and I doubled my taper. And I know how brutal it can be now, just doing that. That's why I'm very careful. The depression was so horrific. The fact that I got through that, I'll never forget. The PTSD I have alone from that. My God. But I have a lot of PTSD now. It's pretty intense from all different angles. Not just the PTSD I have from being a kid, but PTSD from all the health stuff, all the bizarre shit that's happened. Every time my own voice sounds a little weird in my head. Thank you. I appreciate that. I hope you're doing well. I get that little ting of PTSD, like, oh shit, is that coming back? No, I appreciate it. I would love a great window, but I know I've got a little time before it'll happen. I know the last Thursday, Friday, maybe, I started feeling a little bit better, but I knew I was still super sensitive, so I couldn't do anything major. But even Sunday, at least I went out and I fucking went to Walmart with my girlfriend and walked around for a little bit. And it didn't do too bad, but later that day, my mind started getting really weird. So it's like hour by hour. I'm not doing minute by minute so much, which is great. But it's more just every hour I see where I'm at. What about insomnia? Oh, I get such PTSD with insomnia too. Right now, last night I didn't sleep well, but that was not from an insomnia thing. But last week I had 3 days where my mind was just wired and insomnia was just crazy again. And I only get that when things get pretty bad. My insomnia just gets really rough. Usually the next question is, what do you do about it? I don't do anything anymore because the reason I'm on Remeron is because of insomnia. I've been on Remeron for since after I got off benzos, so it's been almost 7-8 years, and I'm still trying to get off of it. That's what's destroyed my nervous system the most. I would most likely be healed if I never got on Remeron. So now I'm not going to do anything unless I totally have to. And if I did, might take something once, but I would never take something more than once or twice. Will it probably set me back though? Yeah, probably. But in general, I don't have insomnia. Just in these kind of times, which can be pretty brutal. And of course, that makes everything worse. Just like last night, I slept, but not great. And I was up super early, probably 3 hours earlier than I should have been. And I got a lot done today. Finished my taxes. But as I'm sitting there looking at the screen, in major DPDR mode, I just don't, it's hard. But I'm like, oh, I've gone over this many times. If there's a mistake, they'll let me know. They'll just write me a letter and say you fucked this up. But as far as I know, I did it right. I usually do. And it's funny because usually around this time it's always hard. I think it's this time of year with the change in weather and stuff. I think it does not make it any easier. Anyway, I'm gonna head off here because it's almost 4 o'clock where I'm at, and that means it's time for me to kind of lay down and try to meditate. This was really good for me to get on here and talk, so I appreciate it. I'll stay on for a few more minutes. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll stay on for another 5 minutes probably. Do I think it'll get better? Yeah, it always does. I've seen it happen so many times that I know it'll get better eventually, and I'll eventually kind of hit a baseline. And it's funny because it's like some things will hit baseline and some things will be better than baseline and some things will be worse than baseline. I never like just get one straight, overall. Doesn't work that way. But in general, like I could say like last December was the best month I had in over 8 years. So I mean, I know it's possible, but it also took me so long to get to that point. And now I feel like I was many years ago. No, that's some bullshit, It's not fair because I want to do some of those things I did in December, but I can't. I'm like I just feel like, did I do something really wrong at some point in my life? And it's like I keep getting punished over and over and over again. And maybe I did. Maybe I'll die and they'll be like, you know what, you went through it. You did well. You were strong. You helped people. I try to help people. And the only reason I do these videos is hoping people can, learn from them. And even though I might scare people with how long I've been dealing with the benzo withdrawal and Remeron with, on my frazzled body and nervous system and brain, that they're like, yeah, but he's literally getting better still after all this time. Even with huge setbacks, he always comes back and says, yeah, I had the best month I ever had. After all that, I was able to do that and it didn't completely fuck me up. And that's what I'm going to be excited about again, is just going out for work and it just making me feel unwell, not destroy me. And I'll get there eventually, but it'll probably be a couple months. Probably 2-3 months. But I got to be super careful. That's the fucking thing. Super careful. Already I'm not careful enough because, what is careful in this? There is no information that says what we should or shouldn't do. But we can't just sit. You can't just sit all the time. You can't do it. It's not good for you. And it's like I need to take care of my mental health and physical health. So in order to take care of my mental health, going out tomorrow will be much better for it. But it will tear apart my physical symptoms and will probably in turn make my mental symptoms worse. That's another conversation. Faking being well. I always tell the story of I fake to be well for my own mental health. Because if I crumble every time I feel like crumbling, it'll tear me apart. If I vent every single time I need to vent, it'll tear me apart. Like, I know when it'll be beneficial and when it's not. It's been a long time. I kind of know by now. Could be wrong, but I do the best I can. But like right now, a lot of people wouldn't even know what I'm going through. If I acted my symptoms, I wouldn't look like this. I'd be on the floor. And that's why I just simply say people would be in the ER right now if they felt what I was feeling. They'd be terrified. Terrified. They'd be like, something is wrong. And I'd be like, no, you just fucked up your pills and it's going to take you a decade to heal. And I hope you have support. That's fuck it. But yeah. But I fake it all the time. I have to. I have to. I even do it when I'm by myself, you know. But there's a point of like physically, I can't fake it all the time. I can push myself to a point. Good comment. Just because I carry it well doesn't mean it's not heavy. Very well spoken. I'm going to use that. I'm actually going to put that as maybe my Facebook motto. I like that. Oh, screenshotted you. That's a good one. But nobody should have to carry this well. Nobody. And a lot of people don't even know what I'm going through. A lot of people wouldn't know. It's like even a guy that I talked to from my work, he says, you sound a lot better, because he called me the other day or whatever, last week or whatever. You sound a lot better. I'm like, thanks, man. And I'm thinking, it's just because I slept. I feel way worse. And I'm like, and he's like, are you going to be out here? I'm like, I'll be out on Tuesday. Oh, good. I'm looking forward to seeing you. It's like, yeah, but they have no idea what it's taken. Oh my God. It's like, I can physically do it. But the longer I'm on my feet doing what I'm doing, is the more hell the akathisia is going to be later. And the burning and the pricking and the weird skull sensations, which I haven't had to deal with in a long time until I cut Remeron. But it took over a month for it to appear, which is weird. I was really shocked that most of these symptoms came over a month after I tapered. I thought I was home free. It got a little weird at first, and then it started to calm down, and then bam, fucking hit me a month and a week later. That's insane. I'm almost wonder, like, did I fuck something up, you know? But who knows? You can't really say. This has been a pretty good talk, to be honest. I feel pretty good about it. I try to end it with something positive. Will it get better? Yes, it always does. If you're tapering something, it's going to be hard to heal until you're off of it. That's for me anyway. But if you're going through the same thing, it's why. If I was off Remeron, I could imagine what it would be like 2 years later. It'd probably be a lot better. Because I wouldn't have to taper anything. I wouldn't have to have that massive, massive nervous system brain hit, you know? And it's so stupid because I'm not even tapering that much in reality. So, anyway, good stuff here. Good stuff here. Just keep your head up. I'll be on more often because I'm in bad shape. And if I need to vent, I will. You know, so. For tapering, I dry cut and got a scale. Like tapering 0.5 or whatever, that's too much, man. So you can always just dry taper with a small scale. If you have more questions about that, go on one of the Facebook pages and ask. They'll know, because most people do it that way. Or some people do liquid tapers. I could never do that. It wasn't for me, so. But yeah, take it day by day. Try to do smaller tapers because, you know, it can be pretty rough. It's always going to be hell no matter what you do it, but the lesser the hell, the better. So, anyway, take care. Good luck to all of you. I'll be on. Might even be on tomorrow. Who knows? But I'll be on when I can. Take care, everyone. Yeah, wishing you all the best too. Later.